Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is KidNativeBloodYellow.com, joined once again by Eugene S. Robinson, the inevitable, the ineffable, the ineluctable author. Fight everything you want to know about ass kicking, but we're afraid you'd get your ass kicked for asking. Coming to us from the raucous Cerrone gym, where Dream Crushers holding forth on a variety of topics.
I have to say, I have to issue an SOS. Dave L., I got your package. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it.
Is it perhaps a Red Bull refund? If you're involved in the class action suit against Red Bull, you got your free cans, or should be.
I'll go check the mail. No, he sent me a bunch of Canadian cash. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, we can't talk about money laundering on the air, Eugene.
Okay.
No.
So anyway, so that I just want to send that out there, Dave L. I'm not going to put you on Front Street vis-a-vis your name. Anyway, yes, here we are.
Here we are. We're here for the Care Don't Care preview, the infamous and patented Care Don't Care preview for Bellator 149 and UFC Fight Night, Cowboy versus Cowboy. This is the official title, Cowboy versus Cowboy.
Does anybody but us realize how incredibly lame that is?
I would hope so, but
is somebody in marketing feeling pretty good about themselves, because they shouldn't be.
She's probably a big Brokeback Mountain fan. There's a lot of demand for.
Have you seen that movie?
Have I seen it? No, I've heard about it a lot. My wife saw it and liked it.
Did she go to the theater and see it?
I believe so.
And did she ask you if you wanted to go?
Might have. I was probably busy. I think I was pretty busy.
I can't tell you the number of people who have tried to talk me into going to that movie. And I have to tell you, I learned my lesson with Jungle Fever, All right, man. See you.
What was wrong with Jungle Fever other than it totally trailed off after the first sex scene?
Yeah, it sucked outside of Annabella Sciorra, who I had a media crush on for a while. But Spike Lee's a piece of shit. And
he made some good movies early on.
He made two. He made two.
Two? Which two are you counting?
She's Gotta Have It and
yes.
The other one.
Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing.
A masterpiece, someone said.
Yeah. But he's been a prick to me personally on at least two occasions, but I'm not going to get into that.
Did you see the Summer of Sam movie about the Summer of 70s? It was amazing how off he got the punk rock information.
Yeah, I know. For somebody who was there at the same time, it actually blew me away.
Actually, I mean, I could see if you're a black kid or whatever, most of them aren't you.
I was a black kid.
I know, but you're a polymath, and come on, you basically hang out with a lot of white people. And he, I could see being oblivious to the scene. It was a small scene.
I wasn't alone. You got the anchor band at the time were the Bad Brains. It wasn't like
from DC, but nonetheless.
Moved to New York. There were black kids out from Brooklyn. There were black kids from. I mean, I wasn't alone.
Yeah,
Black kids from
I'm
Queens.
just saying, I'm giving you extra points for being hip to the punk scene.
Yeah.
But it's like the guy could have hired a consultant to say, dude, The Who wasn't a big punk band in ’77. So anyway,
he's a prick. So anyway, movie, for some reason, every single woman I knew at the time the movie came out thought, wouldn't it be cool to go see a movie about interracial romance with my interracial romantic guy?
So they were all asking you out to the Jungle Fever.
Yeah, and I had to see the movie like 4 fucking times, and each time I had to go.
What a hero! You were man enough to step up and go out with all the ladies, all the white girls that wanted to take you to Jungle Fever.
Yeah.
How did that pan out? Did it work out every movie? Or?
Why do you think I went?
Well, I wouldn't be complaining, son. I didn't get a single invite, and nobody even invited me to Brokeback Mountain. I mean,
your wife did.
I'm not even clear on that. I know she saw it. I don't remember if she even tried.
Anybody who tried to sell it to me, it's just a love story. I don't want to go to that either. If it was a heterosexual couple, I'm not caring. Sensitive love story, man, that sounds like a snooze to me.
Yeah, it sounded depressing, especially the part where the guy has to go from Heath Ledger to Randy Quaid. That's and then gets killed.
I didn't even know about that. You know more than I do.
The only part
I liked is when the wife put the note in the tackle box, and she said, "Did you get my note?" I was like, I like that. Yeah, we were fishing up a storm, and
I didn't know about that little plot detail. That's how they get you. All right, so should we do Sunday night's UFC Fight Night first, because it's definitely not the main event. All right, so keep in mind, Bellator's on Friday on Spike TV. Cowboy versus Cowboy is on Sunday night on Fox Sports 1 and UFC Fight Pass. So we've got an ample card. It looks like a lot of fights. I think around 11 or 12. I don't know. 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 6, 13 fights. Yikes. So there's three fights on Fight Pass. I'm predicting.
There's a poster here that the IBJJF, an official poster that they put out, and they have a schema for how to calculate the age of the athlete. And so underneath it spells it out. It says you take the current year, you minus it from the birth year of the athlete to equal the age of the athlete.
I see, but you've got to watch those birth dates and today's date.
Yeah, it's heavy, man. I don't know what had to happen for them to think they needed to print that as an instruction.
I see. Well, have you been?
I'm 17, sir. You're clearly 57. Based on my calculations, I'm 17.
I see. So the pickings look pretty good in the under 21 division. Is that?
A friend of mine had some Muay Thai smoker. He was all celebrating afterward. I gave him about 10 seconds. I go, "You realize you just beat up a 16-year-old?" He's like, "Well, fuck him."
Yeah, at my size, I was jogging today and went past what looked like the junior high track team at the local middle school, and they were all bigger than me. Yeah. It was.
You should just taken their knees out, start.
I felt like I could have taken any of them, and that was not a terrible feeling. But then I thought, I'm sizing myself up against 12-year-olds here. That was kind of a.
I will kick the ass of any 12-year-old. That's all I have to say.
There's some that are especially big. I don't know if I would make a point.
I go to my kids' wrestling practices. I'm seeing some of these 14-year-old freshmen who are like 265. It's like, nah. One guy challenged me. He was like, "Oh, I'd like to see your little jiu-jitsu." I go, "Come to the academy anytime."
I see. Well, that was a decent discretion there on the bet that he won't be coming to the academy. Good call.
Yeah. Well, because the first thing I would do is to put him against somebody who's 265. And I know the trickery. I watch the Brazilians. I know how to do it.
Yes, age and experience will beat youth and strength anytime. All right, so we've got 3 fights on Fight Pass. I'm predicting 0 cares from you. First up, heavyweight Anthony Hamilton.
Wait. Care, don't care. This has less to do with the disclaimer. It has less to do with your skills and talents as a fighter and much more to do with the marketing heft and weight placed on your endeavors by the bald one and the organization that signs your paycheck. So don't get angry with us because they don't care about you. Crybabies and bedwetters, it's not your fault. It's not our fault. If you want to move from don't care to care, fight an exciting fight. It's happened before. We've got 4 or 5 members who have moved from DC to C. Be part of the crowd, but don't come crying to us.
That's right. And also talk shit outside the ring. That gets our attention as well.
Yeah, that works.
So, all right. So, first up, heavyweights, Anthony Hamilton versus Shamil Abdurakhimov.
Yeah, I care. Because of Hamilton.
Hamilton? What?
I mean, I'm a heavyweight sucker. I'm a heavyweight sucker.
I see. Hungry hippos. To me, he's just another 35-year-old dude who's 2-2 in the UFC.
Yep.
And
because this is the thing. When he gets cut, I want to go. I saw that coming.
It might be a while before he gets cut, as thin as this division is, but he's not getting any younger, and I predict he's going to lose this.
We have a real crisis in MMA, and people are not really focused or paying attention or thinking or believing it's a crisis. Kind of like climate change. It's like, where do you think tomorrow's stars are coming from?
Yeah, the pipeline.
You think they're going to come from the Ultimate Fighter TV show? Or you think they're going to come from looking for a fight? Where do you think somebody who's 18 is going to go, "Hey, man, I think I could do this"? I don't know, man.
It's a lot harder now than it was, say, 10 years ago when there was a fairly healthy regional scene in the U.S. of smaller promotions and all around the world.
And the question is, how did it happen? Think about it.
Well, the UFC, it's not even that the UFC bought up the competition. They bought a few promotions. It's that they flooded the market with MMA. Like 7-8 years ago, you could see a pay-per-view once a month. That left 3 other weekends a month for local promoters all around the country, which means any given weekend there might be 6-7 shows around the country and the world that people cared about where fighters could make money and get experience and and build their name and build scenes. And that's all gone, man.
And I'm also saying that the emphasis on MMA has created an interesting leveling effect, where the differentiation. I mean, those fights, the last set of fights I reported on. I mean, I was watching and just thinking, why am I watching? Why am I watching? There was a base level of competence. You know, people kind of understood. Oh, I see this is happening. I'm gonna move to the other side to avoid the guillotine. But there's not a lot of flashes of brilliance. So you have to ask, where are the brilliant guys? The guys who could take that big giant step from don't care to care. Where are they? And I don't know. I mean, what would it take at this point in time for you to think this is going to be a good career choice for me? This is why I'm big on this idea of Conor McGee as a messiah, because, you know, they keep talking about education in America. Oh, we got to get better at the teachers. You know, pay them more, man. This will happen. This will fucking happen. You know, if I'm a college, if I get my master's in that STEP program and I decide I want to go into education, how long is that going to last? You know, I mean, if I'm only making 20 grand a year, how long is that going to last?
And how long is it going to take you to pay back those student loans?
Got it. So, you know, money solves a lot of things, man. If it's a beach house in Malibu or building a healthy organization, you might want to consider it. You know?
I become a very reasonable person when offered money. It's Plano thing works for me. Bullets with the letter, the gold. Anyway, all right. So we've got an inexplicable care there from Eugene on heavyweight Anthony Hamilton. All right. So now women's bantamweight. Huh?
I'm not picking him to win.
Okay. Well, I'm not. I can't even get excited about Shamil Abdurak Akhimov because he lost his last fight by KO. So who knows? But there's a reason it's on the bottom of the Fight Pass card. All right. So now we've got women's bantamweight Lauren Murphy versus Kelly Fazschultz.
Don't care.
No, me neither. Sorry, ladies. All right, women's bantamweight Marion Renault versus Ashley Evans-Smith. This actually might be a care. Yeah, I should have looked at it.
Ashley Evans-Smith is a known associate. Used to train up here with Team Cerrone, so for a brief moment in time. So and then she just came off that suspension, so I'm interested.
All right, so
I don't think she's going to get beyond Renault. I could be wrong though.
No, I'm kind of interested in Renault too, but not usually. So I should have paid more attention to who was there. All right, so now we're up to the 4-fight Fox Sports.
Oh, did you care or not care about that fight?
I care about that one because of Renault. And the transitive property of your nepotism with Ashley Evans-Smith sort of bleeding over. All right, so now we've got the first Fox Sports 1 card again. This card is on Sunday. Welterweight Jonavin Webb versus Nathan
they're all
Coy.
On Sunday, right?
No, Bellator's on Friday.
Yeah. But all the UFC ones are on Sunday.
There's one UFC card, and it's on Sunday. That's what I meant when I said this card is on Sunday. I meant the whole card is on Sunday.
Got it.
All right. So, Jonavin Webb versus Nathan Coy.
I want to care because of Webb.
Let's see. I care because the guy's got the name Nathan. And actually, he's kind of a gritty fighter who's bounced around from a number of promotions and always been sort of tough, mediocre, but hasn't, you know.
I mean, you know, I think both of us are in the same position. If we're gonna pick care on this, it's a begrudging care.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, I'm not a big Jonavin booster, but yeah, I mean, for sure, I remember him his last few fights But I mean, we're still in Phantom Tollbooth land. So can you really care what happens when he got to the phone first? What are you gonna say? You know?
Yeah, we're not that excited. All right, so now we've got middleweights Anthony Smith and Leonardo Augusto Guimarães.
I don't care.
I don't either. Sorry, guys. All right, middleweight Daniel Sarafian versus Oluwale Bamgbose.
I care.
I care because Bamgbose made a big impression on me in his debut.
Yep.
Sarafian, for some reason, is tickling my brain pan, but
he's bait.
Well,
when they're shark hunting and they throw the sheep entrails in the water, the chum. He's chum.
There's a difference between chum and bait. Chum is even lower down on the football. Yeah, he's 2-3 in his 5-fight UFC career. So, I would say he is being fed to the sharks here, and that should be fun. I always like
the Bamgbose.
Yeah. All right. So now we've got welterweight Alex Garcia versus Sean Strickland. I believe we've confused.
You know, I actually care about this one, but I really don't.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I think we've got entire episodes talking about Sean Strickland thinking he was somebody else.
Yeah, but the thing is, I know what's going to happen, and I know this is one of those fights where I'm going to be sitting there going, Why am I watching guys train? You know?
That's
I mean,
that's yeah.
I got a condom you could do that with too. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So now we're to the main Fox Sports one.
I tell you, Cerrone Academy is like a pirate ship, man. It's not like a normal jiu-jitsu school. Yeah.
I see. Well, it could, yeah, pirate ships. Lovely thought. All right. So welterweight, James Krause versus Shane Campbell.
No, I don't care.
Now, you think there was more sodomy on pirate ships or ships of the line under the Her Majesty's service?
Oh, under the Her Majesty's service. Sure.
You said there was more freedom and less abuse on the pirate ship.
I mean, I just look at the British habits, you know.
I see.
Sorry, guys. English letters from right now. What is it? SF UK, Submission Fighting UK. They're all fired up. He just said we were. Come on, take it easy. Nothing
Settle
wrong.
down, guys. It's the lash.
It's homosexuality between friends.
It's the whips and chains that the British are really most notorious for, more so than the sodomy, I think. Yeah. But anyway, all right. So, lightweight, James Krause versus Shane Campbell.
Yeah, I just said I don't care.
You said you don't care.
I don't care.
Well, see, I was giving you a second chance because James Krause.
Yeah, I know Krause, but I'm not. I've already been, you know. I'm not giving too much for 51%. I've already done that a couple of times on the card, 51%. I mean, realistically speaking, is this going to stop me from going to the kitchen and getting a glass of wine? I don't think so.
Probably not.
I'll listen, I'll run back, and then I'll, rewind.
Now we've got one from the I Has a Sad category.
Oh, man.
Middleweight, Chris Camozzi versus Joe Riggs.
No. I'm not going down that road. I love Joe. He's a friend of Knuckle Up. I love Joe Riggs. You know, there's a reason. Okay, all right. There's a reason that he is still fighting. Good reasons and probably bad reasons, but he's a perennial favorite of mine. You know, if for nothing else, but the war in the hospital with Nick Diaz.
That was a classic moment. That was probably his.
Yeah. And he's he's kind of a hard luck guy. He's like the Charlie Brown of MMA. My heart goes out to the guy he's the guy who shot himself in the hand, was cleaning the gun.
I thought it was his leg, but
his leg, I think. Yeah, I don't know.
It was self-ponage there either way. And Chris Camozzi, notoriously dull.
Yeah, Camozzi I don't give a fuck about, but that's why I think that, the thing is, fucking Riggs is like central casting. He reminds me of that 1940s pug ugly guy, an Irish gangster cat who was in all those Humphrey Bogart movies. And the fact that he hasn't had an agent like push his shit more, it blows my mind. I mean, Gina Carano, wasn't she in Deadpool recently? Isn't it?
I believe she is in Deadpool, yes.
I mean, it's like, people go, Gina Carano's coming back. I got news for you, man. She's never coming back. Deadpool smashed all the records. You know what her take is going to be on that? It's like, she's not coming back. She's still living like a fighter, but making movie star salaries. If she plays it right, she's not going to be broke soon,
Yeah, the royalty checks on Deadpool ought to be immense and long.
So I'm not,
But a good point. I think Joe Riggs could at least have a movie career as successful as Oleg Toktarov, say.
Yeah. And he was in that movie with De Niro. He did a couple. I mean, I'm sure Oleg is not flying high off the royalties from the movie he's done, but I'm sure the checks are still coming in. I'm still getting money for Leonard Part 6, believe me. He's still getting money for that movie.
Has Bill called you for a character witness yet? I heard he's kind of scraping the bottom.
He'd be hard pressed to find a positive character witness in me.
Come on, you never saw him rape anybody, did you?
No, the guy was a creep.
There you go. Thank you, testimony,
Mr.
Robinson.
Mr. Robinson said, no, I want to check.
I see. I think the guy died who passed out all the checks, but
yeah. Well, it's like the old detective movie thing in the 70s. Where'd he go? I don't know. I can't remember. Okay. And out comes a $40 bill. I saw him on Broadway. Oh, okay. Who was he with? I don't really remember. And then so.
And then another $40 bill comes out. What kind of idiot snitch is taking $40 bills?
In 1977, that's good money.
There's no such thing as a $40 bill, Eugene. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Oh, you're making a little joke. I got it.
Yeah,
you're making an IBJJF quip. I got it.
I see. Based on my knowledge of the American currency.
Somebody's trying to pass a $40 bill off to you. You're in trouble.
Indeed. All right. So, featherweights, Dennis Bermudez and Tatsuya Kawajiri.
I know we're going to care about this one.
Yes, this is a big care for me.
But you know what? We are lined up against Lucy Van Pelt and that fucking football, and we're going to care about Kawajiri, and we're going to care about Bermudez, and this is going to fucking disappoint. I can taste the disappointment this far out, and I know I'm incapable of stopping it. I'm incapable of giving it a don't care, and I'm incapable of fully embracing the fact that this will totally disappoint me.
You're just trying to insulate yourself because you do have high hopes for this fight, I can tell.
Yeah, and I'm pulling for Kawajiri. So.
Are you? Well, he's the most likely to lay and pray his way to a decision in this one. I mean, if Bermudez wins, it's going to be a brawl.
Yeah, if.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? I'm seeing Japanese fighters sometimes fold in places and times when they shouldn't fold. So
I don't.
No letters. It's the truth. Huh?
I don't think you can say that about Kawajiri though.
No, not quite. No. But I mean, like again, we got the clocks at home. Are they running backwards? I don't think so.
No, the time has passed. All right, so
George said it best. Time won't give me time, but time makes lovers feel that they should handcuff male prostitutes to radiators.
I missed that bit of hijinks from Boy George.
Oh, really? How could you miss that?
I don't know. I hear Boy George arrested. It's like kind of just fades into the like.
Oh man, he and George Michael there were like neck and neck so to speak, for the arrest. I have to say that he topped out with it. I mean, boy,
handcuffing a hooker to a radiator is much worse than looking for a hand job from an undercover cop, I would say.
He wasn't looking for a hand job from an undercover cop, my friend.
George Michael, I thought that was the testimony that they were.
It wasn't a hand job, unless that's what you call it before you put it in your mouth.
Well, whatever. I mean, it was all consensual, at least.
Yes, it was consensual. And then I love George Michael's explanation. They thought they were like going to have a gotcha moment, and he was like, "You should have seen him."
Can you imagine your job is undercover cop patrol on the men's room patrol? Like,
yeah, I think
you must be like outraged that like dudes are ruining a public restroom for everybody else. He's like, that's the only way I could see doing that job. God damn it. I'm so sick of taking my kid in the men's room and I see knees and 4 feet in the stall and have to explain that. Yeah. Like, otherwise, you're just like, what's the motivation there?
Marco Rubio, he pissed you off somehow, so you wanted to, Marco Rubio in the stall. I'm reading the reports.
The rumors are flying about young Marco Rubio and what he got up to in various public parks. He was arrested.
Yep.
But all the other dudes.
It's like that great scene from that Ben Stiller movie where he's crawling through Meet the Bay. He stumbles.
There's pretty clear testimony, Eugene. There's like 8 other dudes that were arrested at the same time, and they all said they were looking for hot chicks.
I had to urinate. Me too. Yeah.
All right, so let's move along.
Nike, this just in. Nike dropped Pacquiao.
Wow. That was an expensive mistake from Manny. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. Pretty stupid. All right, so bantamweights, Cody Garbrandt versus Augusto Mendes.
I want to care because of Garbrandt, but I'm not going to be bullied or tricked into this. Fuck that. I don't care about this fight.
Yeah, no, I don't either. All right, so middleweight, Derek Brunson versus Carneiro.
Yeah, I care.
Yeah, this is a right on the border, especially for a co-main. This is not a co-main event.
It's not a co-main event.
No. So Brunson is one of these little engine that could kind of fighters that's always almost exceeding expectations unless you have expectations, in which case.
Yeah, that makes him what?
Yes.
A gict. Yeah, you got it.
It does make him a little gickty. And then Carneiro is one of these guys that was like not that good in 2007, the last time he was in the UFC.
Right.
So, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit of rehash, but I do care about both these guys, but I'm not getting too excited. All right, so now the big one, welterweight, Donald Cerrone at welterweight, Cowboy versus Cowboy, Donald Cerrone versus Alex Oliveira, who the only reason they're calling this Cowboy versus Cowboy is because, nobody knows who Alex Oliveira is.
Alex Oliveira actually moved from don't care to care. So.
I do care about him. We care about him, but, we get paid to talk about this shit and to watch every fight card.
Yeah.
But most people, if you said Cerrone versus Oliveira as the title, would be like Charles Oliveira, and then yeah. So they're just going with the Cowboy. Whatever. It's going to be a good fight. My money's on Oliveira, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to go with the future.
All right, you're right. I'm all right with that, and I think it's sort of paining me to. I don't mind a company guy, but you gotta, I don't know.
Well, Cerrone topped out. He got his ass beat by Rafael dos Anjos.
Yeah, he said he wasn't ready, and he was, but I don't know, man. I mean, in general, my feeling about this fight is just I'm kind of like.
This is a placeholder fight for sure, on a placeholder card, and I'm not even clear on why they're doing a Sunday night card, but whatever.
I don't like my addiction. I don't like my addiction being trifled with. Like I don't like hey Eugene, I got some mediocre crack. You got
schedule.
Off schedule.
I know you like to smoke some crack before you go to the office, but hey, today I've got your crack when you're about to pick up your kids.
Yeah, right.
It's
got some floor sweepings in it. It's not the best stuff. It's been stepped on a bunch, but come on.
It's the crack we've got right now, so we know we'll be watching it. Yeah, I much prefer Saturday night fights to Sunday night fights, but whatevs. All right, so that's the overall. Yeah, overall, what's your care level on Cowboy versus Cowboy?
Man, on a scale of 1 to 10?
No, it's a binary. Care, don't care, ultimately, about the card as a whole.
I don't really care, man.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it also makes my life fucking difficult because then I got to stay up all hours because I want to do knuckle up afterward. And then I got to hermit crab it because I got to figure out where I'm going to watch on Sunday night. And then because I'm not a complete prick, I got to watch the fight at somebody's house and then talk to them a little bit. And then I got to drive all the way home. And then
maybe even bring some beer.
Fuck out of here. That's fucking crazy.
Well, maybe you can restrain yourself from cuckolding the dude with his girlfriend. Come on. I mean.
What? What are you talking about? I've never done that.
Of course not. So, yeah. All right. So that's.
I remember telling some guy. He and his girlfriend kept coming around me, and each time they came around, she was wearing fewer and fewer clothes.
I've got Donna Shalala right on the tip of my tongue.
Okay.
Is this a different one? I'm not doing it yet. I'm just saying, is this incident? How many times has this happened, Eugene?
Well, in this one instance, it's a one instance.
But I mean,
I actually said to the guy, if you keep this up, I'm going to have sex with
Donna Shalala. I hate to do it because it's a favorite story. Yeah, it has to. Because it's making me want to retell the Errol Flynn story that I usually retell.
I like it. So, that's how we know. Right.
Yeah. So, all right. So now we're moving on to the big doings. Bellator 149, Friday night, Spike TV. 3 of the most famous names in MMA history are on this card. And yet we'll see what it adds up to. There's like a 15-fight prelim card I'm not even going to mess with that's on the spike.com site. But, yeah, we're just going to skip over that because – why are we skipping that, Eugene?
Man, I just – you know what? Look, Sorrell has left. I'm here alone now. But the reality of it is I mean, he's giving me a hard time. He's a big booster on this fight. And I've seen the narrative that Coker is putting out. These are guilty pleasure fights. I'm reading all that stuff. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just get a bad feeling. I feel like that guy in Aliens. I get a bad, or is it Predator? I got a bad feeling about this one, man. I don't know, man.
We knew as soon as we saw you beam down to the planet in your red shirt that you were done for, or being the black guy in the
black guy is right away the guy who's going, I'll go check. And I got a bad feeling, man. You go. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, I'm seeing the dude with the multicolored Tri-Hawk and the sledgehammer and the Andre 3000, Dada 5000, guys who are my age in the cage. I could barely stand to watch me fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it's there's some things. I mean, what he's doing is creating cover for the things that he's doing that are super effective. The Ben Henderson, super effective. The moves that he's making, making the claim that Fedor will fight. Fedor is still not a sell by. He's not quite gone yet. So Fedor will fight before 2016. We'll get him in. This is the fight that he had. Nobody's paying attention to that one. That was bullshit. But so he's making the public moves, like you said about CM Punk. That was just to keep him away from Bellator. So he's making these big public moves that will get the cheap seats filled, but meantime, moving serious stuff in. But in total, man, this is not – do I watch? Yeah, I'm watching like this.
Indeed. But all of that was a setup I was trying to give you to say that you don't care about the prelims. But
I'm sorry. Yes,
that's okay. I should have known better than to try to feed you a line. It was
I went down a different road there. I don't care.
Yeah. It's the straight man's dilemma. You're a straight man's nightmare, Eugene. You just try to feed you a line, and anyway, all right. So we've got 5 fights on the Spike TV fight card. First up, light heavyweights: Linton Vassell and Emmanuel Newton, your fellow punk rocker.
A friend of Knuckle Up.
Yes.
I care.
Yeah, me too. And Newton, most famous for beating King Mo a couple times.
Times, and then he also was the one who came into the fight with like a championship fight, having only eaten like potato chips or some shit like that. Wasn't he did something crazy? He said God would take care of him, and he actually won that one.
Yeah, but then he lost 2 in a row against Liam McGeary and Phil Davis, and he's beaten Linton Vassell before, so I'm not quite sure why they're having this fight, other than it tells you how thin their light heavyweight division is. But so I don't know. Do you have a pick? Do you think Vassell's going to turn it around?
No, I got to go with the friend of Knuckle Up, man. I got to go with Newton.
Yeah, I do too. Vassell is, frankly, Vassell's not quite a care in my book. So yeah, and he just lost to King Mo. So all right, so now we've got lightweight Derek Campos versus prodigal son Melvin Guillard.
Oh yeah, I care.
I care too, but it's kind of a sad care.
Almost. I
mean, Melvin washed out a World Series of fighting, Eugene.
I'm not convinced that Melvin's problems are body-based, age-based. I'm more convinced that they're head-based, and you can get out of head problems sometimes.
And nose-based.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sometimes you can get out of head problems. Sometimes you become Mike Thomas Brown. That's it.
Yeah. So, yeah, Melvin's record here in the last 6 fights, he's got loss, win, loss, no contest, win, loss. That's, yeah. So, yeah. So, anyway, we'll see. But I still love Melvin. Amazing athletic talent and always a threat to knock somebody out. So, I got to care about it, but I'm not excited about it. All right. Then we got featherweight Daniel Pineda versus Emmanuel Sanchez.
I don't care.
I don't either, and that's the sad thing is like the idea with a card like this is you bring in the suckers with the Royce and the Kin and the Kimbo, and then you deliver something like, say, a Michael Venom Page maybe, or even a Paul Daly, or if you could have got Ben Henderson or Josh Koscheck on this card, or get Will Brooks in there, or Michael Chandler back, give him some meat,
Yeah, I know.
But they are so thin on the ground.
Hey, man, I'm just happy if Scott Coker's involved, that we're not talking about a fucking Daniel Puder,
Yeah. So anyway, so Pineda Sanchez is about as good as it gets on this card in terms of sporting contest, but not exactly. Not exactly legendary stuff. All right, so now we're to the big doings. Kimbo Slice versus Dada 5000.
Oh man.
Yes, two former street fighters, one of whom was the bodyguard for the other one. Dada's real name is Dafir Harris, of course. So
okay, all right. Well, first of all, let's get this out of the way. I care.
Yeah, you can't help it. Kimbo's magnetic. I mean, if you watch his early work in the VIP, when all he was a standby in a porn video, he still had charisma, and then. Yeah. Then the YouTube videos start, and they're legendary, even though he's fighting bums.
Yeah.
I've watched those fights hundreds of times. The Ultimate Fighter series, wherein we learned that he can.
But you know what? This is like Vegas, right? This is like Vegas, where
there's no clocks on the walls. They pump
oxygen. No. Where you get a guy at a machine, one-armed bandits, and the guy is convinced This is the guy urinating in the catch cup because he's like, the machine is just about to turn, man. It's just about to turn. It's just about to, and I got to piss. Oh, no, I got the cup. I was just about to. And then 18 hours later, the guy smoked 35,000 packs of cigarettes and the machine hasn't turned. It's the kind of opposite thing. I mean, I keep, Kimbo can't keep paying out. He can't keep paying out, and when he stops paying out, it's going to be tragic and unhappy. I don't know, man. I'm trying. Where's Cerrone when I need him? He's a booster on this fight. I should not be depressed about this fight.
So he's excited about Kimbo. I thought he was going to be excited
No, he's excited about Royce and Shamrock. But Kimbo's part of it, man. It's part of the dog and pony show. And then the press conference is today? It's today at noon. So
Noon California time.
Yeah, is there going to be some pushing and shoving at the press conference? Oh, my goodness, pushing and shoving at a press conference. Surprise, surprise, man, fuck, damn.
What was Ken Shamrock's line when he kicked the chair against Don Fry and said, I'm going to something unto death or – yeah, well, anyway.
You know what? The message that this sends to me is overwhelmingly more disturbing than even what's going to happen inside the cage, I mean, if a 56-year-old guy, 55-year-old guy wants to fight, God love him, let him fight. If a 55-year-old guy has to fight,
I mean,
Ken's had his problem. There's a lot of fucking shrugging, man. And we're not talking about the rising, advancing of the human spirit and the overcoming of, adversity and all the lessons that hey, look, they're making the Jesse Owens movie. I don't know if you've seen the trailers. I don't know who's Netflix is doing it. So, but they're not making it with the fucking 70-year-old Jesse Owens.
But Jesse Owens, wouldn't he be more like 100 and something?
Well, he's dead now, right?
Yeah, he's been dead for a long time.
Yeah. So, but they, of course, it makes sense to go back to the period of his greater glory. It ties in with the Nazis, and you can always get Hitler in, and I just got the Nazis in. So
pretty late.
So that's an exciting period. But if there's any, I'd like one of the commenters, if you're feeling totally bullish, in lieu of Cerrone being here to explain, if you're feeling totally bullish on this fight, I'd like to know why. I'd really like to know why.
Well,
and keep in mind, I was the one who floated the concept of the MMAARP. The
senior league.
The senior league, but I was envisioning a slightly past it Chuck Liddell. Shamrock has not been significant since when? Since the second time that Tito beat him and said, I will fight you every week if you want.
It's been about 13 years, since Ken had any drops of water in that washcloth. I mean,
and I had Frank on the show on Knuckle Up, and he said it best. He goes, Ken would be interesting if he fucking did mixed martial arts, mixed it up, trained with other people. What, the Lions Den?
He still has his strength and conditioning coach.
Who was he rolling with? Pete Williams?
That giant guy, that giant guy that was always in the background and the line that you never knew what he did. That guy is still around. It's the only consistent. So, yeah, I don't know. Ken's had his troubles. He lost a massive lawsuit to the UFC.
Hold on. What? Technically, we're still talking now about Dada and Kimbo.
Sorry. Yes. So. You're the one that dragged us into.
I know.
And then when I want to talk about it, then you pull.
Yeah, then I bring the hammer down. the multicolored tri-hawk.
Yeah. So we care about this fight.
So we have a pick. You pick Kimbo.
Man, I'm not lowering myself to make a pick in this fight. I have no idea. Neither of these guys has any particular skill set. I'm
gonna pick Kimbo because he's a nice West Indian boy.
I see. Well,
and I interviewed his cousin, Roddy Ferguson.
I can't go against Kimbo either, even though I don't think he's a particularly sterling person. But
if anybody on Monday was like, you pick Kimbo and he lost, you know what I'm going to say? What?
Who cares?
What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What? It's like, who gives a fuck? I was wrong on this one. It's like saying, it's going to be cloudy today, and the sun comes out. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, nobody goes back and checks your weather predictions. That's one thing if you're looking into career meteorology. All right, so now we've got the big one. Open weight fight. Ken Shamrock versus Royce Gracie. Ken says he's coming in around 200 pounds. You know Royce Gracie's going to be much, much smaller than that. It's like a matter of who's the most decrepit, basically.
It really hurts. I should get Cerrone on the phone. I don't know, man. He said his attitude based on what he said. He said, first of all, Royce is going to kill him, is what he said.
Based on how feeble and old Ken is, but Royce is also feeble and old, and in their heydays, Royce's advantage was he knew more jiu-jitsu than Ken, and once Ken learned some, he basically neutralized him.
And there's no gi like in the old days.
Yeah.
And but so the memory in my head is of Royce against Matt Hughes. Not a good memory. But Cerrone is, he's been wrong his last 3 picks. So I'm not saying he's right, but what he is saying is that
does he ever pick against a Brazilian?
Well, he with a proviso. He goes, I hope he wins. That's what he ends up saying.
I see.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, yes, okay. I care. So we can get that out of the way. We care.
I've cared about these guys. These are the guys that got me into MMA way back low these many years ago.
Cerrone says he says, stop being a dick. It'll just be fun. But that's where we have a parting of the ways. I can stop being a dick, maybe, but it will just be fun. That's another maybe.
Do you remember Matt Hughes versus Renzo Gracie at UFC 112?
Yeah.
That killed the senior league idea because that was not fun. Going into that, I was like, hey, MMA is relative. It's all about the competition.
You mean Royce?
No, Renzo and Hughes. Remember?
Did he fight Renzo?
Yes, he fought Renzo, and he leg kicked him into the ground. Remember?
Yeah. It was yes, I do.
It was that terrible endless card where Anderson Silva fought Demian Maia.
Yeah, that was really soul crushing.
BJ Penn lost to Frankie Edgar, and
I do remember this. All
right. And so that was just no fun at all. Watching Matt Hughes leg kick Renzo Gracie into oblivion. So to me, it's like if one of them has learned a new technique, the other guy might be completely stymied by it.
Yeah.
But both of these guys, Royce has got some massive IRS problems going on.
Yep.
Shamrock's lost the lawsuit with the UFC and is a notorious spendthrift, has been bankrupt basically the whole decade. And they've both had steroid problems. So, here we are, the two founding fathers of MMA on Spike TV. And
you know what? And from my point of view, the issue is from my point of view. I know you like the beach house in Malibu, but you need to on the heels of Kevin Randleman, you got to take care of these guys. I don't, they care what Chuck Liddell is the only one that's got a job, right? I mean, you got to come on. Yeah.
And they just hired somebody else too. I can't remember who it was. There's a third guy in that row of honor. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, man. You got to take care of these guys. You gotta. This is not a fucking good look. This is not. I don't know.
They're taking care of them. Spike and Cook are giving these guys a nice paycheck.
What kind of paycheck?
I would assume it's at least in the 6 figures.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, maybe I'm being too downbeat about it, man. But it makes me. Do you feel good? How are you feeling about this?
No, I'm not feeling good, Eugene. This reminds me of like when Marilyn Chambers made her big comeback to porn in her 50s, and I still watched it, but I felt awful about myself, even more awful than I usually do.
Nah, I didn't feel so bad about that. I felt bad about Kitten Natividad because I interviewed her before when she was still like this Russ Meyer darling. And
she had never even done hardcore porn before she did that.
Yeah, right. She hadn't. And then I remember her husband at the time, we were doing the interview in her apartment in Hollywood or LA. I don't remember where it was. And he was sitting around smoking weed the whole time. And I was like, this guy's kind of a piece of shit, but that's California divorce law, baby. He was technically her manager for the 8 years of their marriage. And then when they left, half, okay, he got the benefit of her salary from, airplane movies and Porky's or whatever that shit she was in. But he got the benefit of spending that money with her, but he also got to leave with that money, you know. So she had to do something to come up with the cash, and that was, I watched it, but it was, you know, it was a sad time.
Yeah. So that's what we're. So
dancing with tears in my eyes.
Dancing with tears in my eyes.
In this case, especially if by dancing you mean masturbating.
In all seriousness, Gene, that's a beautiful.
I'm sorry. The show was almost over. It was almost okay. And you thought for half a second I was going to express a sentiment that was somehow normal.
I think masturbating through tears hasn't everybody done that? No,
I'm doing it now.
Yeah, I mean, I think That's disgusting. Let's see your hands, Eugene. Come on.
There you go. I had to get your hands where I could see them there.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our show, fans. This is what we have to look forward to this weekend.
Man, if you take this and the last knuckle up, we got a downbeat duo here. Shit, sorry.
Yeah, it's well, you know, Kevin Randleman. I was glad that you devoted the episode to him. He deserves the attention. This is a guy who's kind of forgotten because his peak was in the dark ages of MMA. He missed the early pay-per-view golden days. He wasn't around for the big Spike TV comeback.
Yeah.
He did have some glory and pride,
yeah.
but mostly it was losing fights that he put on. I mean, when he slammed Fedor on his neck, that was a classic moment. But most people who saw that just know him as that guy that slammed Fedor on his neck. They don't because he lost.
Yeah,
so,
but you know what? I don't feel that kind of sad or sorry for him outside of the fact that he passed because Randy got lucky. Randleman wasn't as lucky, but the future that these guys had resigned themselves to and that they were completely okay with was being an assistant wrestling coach somewhere, or at the best, a head wrestling coach at some program. In which case, if you averaged out how much those guys make, Kevin Randleman right to the end was probably making exactly what he would have made had he had done that. But, he got the glory, and, your high school wrestling coach could drop dead tomorrow and nobody, Hall of Fame or not, nobody's like giving a shit. So
yeah, it's true. It's true. All kinds of middle-aged guys keel over all the time. I've even heard 79-year-old dudes die in their sleep sometimes, Eugene. It can be controversial, but
what are you talking about? Who?
Scalia death rumors. I mean, come on, Alex Jones is making hay with this. Who ever heard of a 79-year-old dropping dead?
Everybody, this is like such a great, we talked about it yesterday on If I Did It, but this is such a great tri-level chess thing, man. McConnell has just blown it so fucking big time, and cracks are appearing in the coalition. It's like, we just voted on Sri Srinivas at 97-0. What possible justification could you come up with for denying this guy? Okay, well, you got 11 months to try. Well, welcome to it. Here you go, America.
Yeah. You can. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, McConnell. Oh well, what are you gonna do? All right.
However, I keep telling you how nervous I am that Bush is still in it, and just when I get nervous, like, man, he's in it. He tweets out a picture of a gun. What is he? Yeah, I mean, this guy is great. He is like the Reebok sponsorship. Just when you think, okay, maybe, boom, they spell somebody's name wrong.
Yeah, it's Bush isn't winning anything, and I'm enjoying Trump threatening to leave the Republican Party and run as an independent now. It's like
Sue Cruz. This is both great. This is both great. I mean, he actually has enough money to tie Cruz up in a court that just
Oh yeah.
Hey, we call this attrition, baby. Welcome to it. And then, speaking of which, attrition and fines, I also thought it was slightly depressing that Cerrone, because we talked about him, I forgot to bring it up, was complaining about the Reebok fine. That on top of him not knowing what money is, fighting all the times he's fighting, and then that fine kind of, and he came out so strong, I'm going to honor my team. I don't want, I'm just going to keep, and then, that fine kind of hurt. I don't know whether they got to him or it was substantial enough. But, man, this is just like, it's like being like some guy came up to me after the Oxbow show. He was outraged. He's a light-skinned black guy. He's like, I felt like I was at a slave auction. I was like, on which side of the auction would you have been on, young sir?
Because he was wearing because you were wearing your skivvies or what?
I have no idea. He was out. He was upset. He was shaken by the Oxbow show, and he couldn't articulate why. I've had two people You know, I've looked out at Oxford shows.
Blackface again, Eugene?
Huh?
Were you performing in blackface again?
No, I've seen.
Did you learn nothing from Ted Danson?
I've looked at the front row and see people sobbing. So I don't know what happened. You know, who knows what happened with this guy? But he was upset. You know.
Oh well.
This was in Portland, Maine. You know, a black cat. You know, biracial black cat, a biracial cat in Portland, Maine is gonna get upset with me. He's like, get the fuck out of here. You know.
Portland, Maine.
You know, the hotbed of black activism.
Yeah. All right. Well, we dragged this out long enough. That's our show. We'll be back. Zane and the crew will have the MMA vivisection.
Yeah.
Indeed. For both these, Zane and I will be doing the 6th round after Bellator, but not after the UFC because you'll be doing Knuckle Up after the UFC. I think we learned.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah. Well, you're doing Knuckle Up anyway on Sunday.
Yeah, but I maybe could do it earlier in the night.
Oh well. You know, that's
the way the cookie crumbles. I got it.
And we'll be back with If I Did It next week and all the usual. There's another UFC down the pipe, but that's a whole week away, so I have no idea what that is. So anyway, adios MMA aficionados. Thanks for watching. Remember, follow us on Twitter at KidNate, at Eugene S. Robinson. Give us a thumbs up on the video. That's how Eugene does it. Everybody else needs to hit the thumbs up symbol below the screen.
Yeah, that's it.
This is just trickery to keep Eugene from shutting the show down prematurely.
Yeah.
All right. Read Eugene at Aussie.com. Sometimes Vice's Fightland.
I got a piece up today about Jan Sova, who said Poland will cease to exist as a country in 2020. It's a good piece. Go to Aussie.com and read it.
I will check it out.
I had to fight 8 months to get that fucking thing up there. Seriously.
That is crazy pants.
Yeah.
You know how long I have to I regret stories. I mean, I put out like 50 stories a day that I regret that I didn't even want to put out. But
well, these are complicated reasons. You know, complicated reasons that I had pushback and fight, but I fought valiantly, and it's up today. So you should read it because there's a reason the man didn't want you to read it.
I see. So Eugene beat the man. All right. So I think I've gotten all our plugs in. Subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube. Subscribe to MMA Nation on iTunes if you want to hear the audio only. Follow us on SoundCloud. Read me at BloodyElbow.com. And adios, MMA aficionados. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Eugene.
All right, man.